Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Van Dweller back with more classic Tetris Monthly Mega Dasters Championship for 2025. This is our first annual DAS Championship for the year. We got monthlies. That's fine. You can be the monthly champion. But really, it all comes down to this annual championship. The first time that we are doing it, the DAS analog to our Mega Masters Championship, Mega Dasters. So we are like, I don't have the it's really hard to make these bracket visualizations with a 64 player thing. You can't see it on screen, but I'm going to put the bracket link in the chat. That should bring up some links. Click on the one that says Mega Dasters to see the bracket. This is the last of the preliminary matches to take place. So we've got 31 people sitting there in the round of 32. And this will determine who's the last person. And it's going to be either night or wide. One will be in and one will not be in. So that is what we are going to do. This one match for Mega Dasters. Now, after that, there could be a gap between. But after that, there will be a Masters bracket. This is going to be the orange bracket, the preliminary rounds. It's going to be peak versus night again. So if you're into night, well, there's a double header of night, and then the winner of peak versus night will take on Shqdw to see who makes it into the orange top 16. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Take a look at the rules for Mega Dasters. This is a 64-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris, released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System. On NTSC consoles, players can play on emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, experience, and statistics are unmodified. They can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronic or mechanical or biological. No biological turbo. This is a best of 5 here in the early rounds, so the first player to 3 wins is the winner of the match. Level 18 starts all the way through this tournament. We will be using same piece sets re-rolled in between each game of the match. We do not increment hertz and input display turned on. Yeah, turn them on. If they're not on now, turn them on. Players should not receive any advice while they are playing a game of Tetris, and they should not pause unless the commentator tells them to. Remember, this is a DAS tournament. Press and hold. That is the play style. Quick tap at the end of a DAS movement is good. We don't really police taps in the middle of the board, but those 4 and 5 taps, 4 and 5, column movements better be squeaky clean, or we're gonna come down on you hard. I don't know. Are we? Who knows? Anyway, if you do experience tech issues, just keep playing. Assume your game will count until you hear otherwise. For me, don't pause and ask for instructions. I will just give you the instructions, right? So just keep playing. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share in a prize pool, which stands right now at $2,650. Once we hit those top 32 matches, we will release our full incentive payout structure and incentives and level ups and ladder ups and all that kind of stuff. But for right now, just know we're looking to build a championship caliber prize pool. So do help us out. Matt Chirino is the prize pool partner that we have got. If you want to contribute to the prize pool, you got to go to the landing page for this tournament for our prize pool partner, Matt Chirino, and you can find those links where? By using the Matt Chirino command while you're watching live. I put it in chat just now. Click on the one that says Mega Dasters. Go to the page, top right-hand corner, find the login button, click on that. You can use your existing Twitch, YouTube, or Discord account to log in. You do not have to go through some separate account creation process. It's so easy. Once you are logged in, the other thing, it's easy. Clicking the contribute button, easy. A thing will pop up, and then emptying your mom's credit card into the prize pool, so easy. All right, don't do that, but definitely consider what you can afford and how important it is for you to see amazing classic Tetris action online, on Twitch, on YouTube, all year long. Big tournaments like this are monthly tournaments, weird tournaments like Super Tetris Monthly, and the forthcoming Try Hard Cup. Yeah. Oh, and of course, January, the ESWT BBWC 2022, like we've been planning all year long to have it in January, right? Anyway, thanks to those of you who have contributed to the prize pool already. Really appreciate the support, but we definitely need more. That's how to support the players. To support the channel, well, you got options. Good one is patreon.com/monthlytetris, where you can make an ongoing pledge of support to keep this channel going. You know, when I look ahead at Patreon, you know, it's crazy. We think, man, we're not going to make the month. I'm going to have to start packing in CTM. It's over. Got to start looking for a real job. And then I'm like, oh, wait, let me check Patreon. And then there's, you know, support from you guys in there, and I'm like, phew, we can probably keep going. Not gonna you know, activate my LinkedIn and start going on Indeed or anything like that. So if you want to keep me as your Tetris feudal serf, streaming matches on weekdays at 2 p.m. in the afternoon or at 5 a.m. in the morning, whenever players can do it. Yeah, support us. And yeah, you know, being able to stream at all the odd hours is what makes it possible for us to double the size of the tournaments and add new tournaments, right? Like, so, you know, no brainer, support us. Now, if you don't like Patreon, there are other ways to support us. Use the support command for support. There it is. Use the support command. You can find ways there. If you want to make a recurring pledge, just like on Patreon, but you don't like Patreon, that's fine. You can do it through the PayPal link, right? You can do a recurring payment that way. All kinds of different ways to support us. If you're watching on YouTube, there are platform-specific ways there, like super chats, super stickers, super thanks, super comments, channel memberships, gift channel memberships, gifting multiple channel memberships, a lot of different ways. Bits on Twitch, you can do weird things with bits like gigantifying emotes and other stupid things. You've got subscriptions to the channel. You can gift a subscription. You can gift multiple subscriptions to the channel. And if you're an Amazon Prime member, you have an Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime gaming subscription that you can apply to the streamer of your choice once a month. But use it or lose it, so don't lose it, and use it, and sometimes use it on us. Okay, is that good? Is that enough? You had enough of me? I wouldn't blame you. Okay, let me go over here. We'll start to mess with our cameras, as I love to do. We'll set the whole match up and feel happy. So camera 1, where are you? Ooh, you are on, actually on 18. Don't tell anyone. Camera. Oh, wait, you're on 18. Okay, good. And we will be dropping pieces in the chat in a moment, but players can still take a moment. There we go. Wide. And what do you see? Yeah, okay, you're on 22. Got it. We're figuring it out. We are figuring it out. Oh, we're gonna move. We can just flop Knight around like this and make it all, well, I guess that's how she is doing anyway. All right, good. Look at this. Why are you both wearing the colors of the bracket? Are you serious? Come on. Y'all are the best. You are both wearing the bracket colors. Come on, guys. Was this planned? Did you intend to do this? Teal power? First of all, did you each intend to wear teal in the teal bracket? And then did you both go, hey, let's both wear teal? Or you just did it? Holy crap. Can we put you both in the round of 32? You're both I mean, let's just put you both in there. Who can we knock out? It's got to be somebody we don't like in there. Wow. Can you get rid of Andy? Yeah, Andy, you are out. Wide says, I put this shirt on like 5 minutes ago because it was the first clean one I saw. Yeah, Andy, you're out. These folks are both in. Holy moly. Wear your bracket color, your branch color. Yeah, that's it. You know, other brackets, you are on notice. Okay, you better step up your game. And first of all, teal is not like an easy color to have, right? Like, you know, just, oh, I've just got teal, blue-green stuff hanging around. So, I mean, this is like really something, there's something, mystical and metaphysical going on. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's happening. All right, looks like both players are on seed. Are they? Let's check. We don't know. Yeah, both players are on seed. Both players are ready. This is a round 2 match. The winner goes to the round of 13. So let's get us both started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. This is Classic Tetris Monthly Mega Dasters, our first annual, DAS Championship. We have our monthly tournaments, of course, which have become very popular and very exciting, but now we're doubling the size of the bracket and calling it Mega Dasters, so that makes it a championship, right? Is that all you got to do? You just name something a championship, and that makes it a championship. I guess that's how it works. Anyway, on the left side of your screen, who is it? It is Wide. Wow. Wide qualified in with what? A 1.046 million. That was the average of his best 3 DAS games played in a 75-minute qualifier. Wide is from New Zealand. I don't know. Where is Old Zealand? I don't know. It's somewhere, though. But you know Wide as a prolific restreamer. As somebody who I always forget exactly where he's from. I always think, wait, he's Australian? Is he British? I never remember, but it is New Zealand, in fact. And New Zealand is kind of getting I don't know, they've got some players there. They got Poopy, they've got Wide, they've got remember Joey Parker? So they're getting their Tetris people, you know. But anyway, you've seen Wide in all kinds of Tetris competitions over the last several years, as matches in the community going all the way back to September of 2020. Played recently in Classic Tetris Bi-Weekly, Classic Tetris League, of course. Played a couple, I think, in DAS Masters, at least a couple of times. Played in DAS Europa League. Classic Tetris Gauntlet. But also one of my favorite restreamers. So that is Wide. On the right side of your screen, Knight, who qualified in seed number 47 with a 910,000 and defeated Scamper in round 1. Knight versus Scamper round 1 in a top 64 is really a crazy matchup. 209 here for Wide, 234 for Knight. But it happened. You know, DAS do be like that sometimes, where qualifiers can vary widely, and I would expect, you know, both these players to qualify a bit higher, but they did meet in round one, and Knight was the winner. Knight is a Canadian. Uh-oh. And you've seen Knight winning a CTM Futures all the way back in February of 2022. Most recently, though, you've seen Knight making the top 4 in Classic Tetris Monthly August, which is basically last month's Masters. Knight has been in the gold bracket of CTWC 3 times. Played in Jonas Cup and was 10th last year. Jonas course coming up this weekend. 332 for Wide, 313 for Knight. You've seen Knight play in Mega Masters, our Open Championship, twice, and had her highest finish this year, top 16. Also played in Genesis this year, taking 3rd in both the Open and DAS categories. And of course, who can forget Knight's top 24 finish in the LOL Pog Cup 2023? I'll never forget where I was. 346 for Wide, 350 for Knight. Sebi says, Wide's restreaming commentary sounds like he's always about to burst out laughing, and I love it. Yeah, I like that. There's a certain bemused quality to it. I like it. 375 for Wide, 379 for Knight. You can see Wide now. Of course, this is DAS tournament. Wide with sort of a cross grip, I think, prepared to do quick taps as needed. 429 for Wide, 428 for Knight. Or maybe, I don't know, is that the reason? Oh, perfect clear from Wide. LOL is an acronym, you think? You think LOL is an acronym where I say lol? I don't say. I've never heard that. 484 for Wide, 464 for Knight. Wide with the old fractal grip. Yeah, true. That's where I was like, wait, this is someone's grip, but yeah, Fractal's old grip. Well, he wasn't using it anymore, so it became available. 519 for Wide, 479 Knight. So Wide ahead by 42,000 points. Vandy, do you pronounce LOL like lol or lol? I just say LOL. Because there is already a word called, lol. And in the old internet days, LOL was all capitalized, right? It seems to me like it's an initialism. 549 for Knight, 592 for Wide. Tetris for Wide, 626, 557 for Knight. Knight with a Tetris, 658. So Knight maintaining a lead of nearly 70,000 points. Tetris for Knight, 622. That's right. We can't have two words pronounced the same. T-O. I don't like it. One word per pronunciation and spelling. That's what I like. Beep, boop, beep. Vandy is homophonophobic. That's right. I am homophonophobic. Homophonophobic. I am. $691 for wide. Knight has pulled a little bit closer. We've got just a few lines until level 29 kicks in. You know, about 10, 13 lines, whatever. That speed is gonna double. It will be unsurvivable by DAS players, and these players are so close. Wide able to get out to another lead. There's a dirty Tetris for Knight. She's gonna need 2 more. There's 1. And that's assuming Wide, you know, doesn't score any more points. There's the triple for Wide, 806. Knight is not going to be able to set up for another Tetris, and it came right down to the wire. Knight was not able to set up for that last Tetris. If she had, it would have given her the victory in the game, but it was not to be, and Wide able to do just enough to take game number 1. So good game 1. New pieces for the players, 6E446A. I wish it were possible to have the seeds be fewer digits. Like, yeah, we got 6 times 16, but like, could we accomplish that in fewer if we were able to somehow use all the letters somehow? You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know how you would accomplish that, but it would be cool. All right, looks like both players 6E446A, and let's go ahead and get them started. Game number 2 in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Vandy, there are 16 million blah 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 possible seeds. Yes, that's not what I'm saying, Burbia. What I'm saying, sorry, I should be clearly. What I'm saying is I wish we could generate the same number of seeds while putting in fewer characters, right? So if we were able to use like A through Z and the numbers 0 through 9, that would give us 36 characters, and players would only have to like put in 2 or 3 characters. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know how to get 36. I don't know how many digits you need of 36 different characters to get to 16 million, but that would be cool. I mean, I know like these thing is in hexadecimal, but is there any reason that has to? I don't know. I'm not a programmer or a smart person, but is there any reason why they must be expressed hexadecimally in the front end of Gym, right? Then the players would have to scroll through long lists instead of 16. Oh, that's true. 5 digits if you could use base 32. All right, you're only losing 1 digit. All right. Full alphabet with all numbers with 4 slots gives 1.6 million. 5 gives 60 million. So I guess really the answer to my question is no. Line spin for Knight delayed, and the T to get that little burn. All right, well, you know, ask a question, get an answer. Love it. You guys are my AI. You would need base 256 to have only 3 characters. All right, we need 256 different characters. All right, 235 for wide, 197 for Knight. Start using the Greek and Arabic alphabet. Well, then we could have a seed with Kappa in it, right? So that would be almost worth it. $269 for wide, $288 for night. Halfway through level 18. 230 lines total is just about what these players will have to work with here in a DAS game. Level 29 kicks in at 230 lines. Too fast for DAS. Base 62 uses all uppercase A through Z, lowercase A through Z, and 0 through 9. All right, guys, you need uppercase A, lowercase P, like, no thanks. All right, Knight with a Tetris, sets up for another, has some garbage on top. Clearing that down. Trying to. Putting in captcha codes just to play Tetris. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, to get the seeds, I need you to swipe this slider until the puzzle piece matches up. And then also identify all bicycles. Thank you. $3.99 for night, $3.58 for wide. $4.28 for wide Tetris, $4.51. Knight is open down the middle, has to plug with an L piece. He gets a couple of kind of spite bars there when she blocked the well. And there's a dirty Tetris down the middle, $4.66. Into 19 at $4.68. $5.21 into 19 for night for wide. So wide again with the lead at the 19 transition. Oh, wide is in a spot of bother and is going to top out here on 20. And Knight is good in game number 2, and we are tied. Oops. GG. $4070B2. Just use the same seeds as round 1, and players get better as the tournament goes on. It's funny that you mentioned that, Hana, because that is going to be an STM tournament. Something similar. $4070B2, $4070B2. All right, both players Alrighty, game number 3. What was once a best of 5, now best of 3 between Wide and Knight. It said the seed before you typed the command. It knows. So yeah, I definitely want to do a known seed tournament. I'm trying to think of ways to structure that. Like maybe it'll be, you know, a same seed per round. You know, like, okay, round 1 has this seed, round 2 has this seed, round 3 has this seed, and all the rounds play the same, but the seed changes from round to round. On the other hand, it would be fun to play just one single solitary seed for a whole tournament, so people would know, oh, here comes that, you know, here comes those 3 long bars in a row, 87 lines in, you know. There's something screwy and fun there, and I want to do that. Same seed for every match, so purple can lose. Oh, people. I was like, purple? Yeah, and definitely publish them in advance. And make those, and make everybody, what about everybody qualifies on the same seed too? Here comes that 97-piece drought. Yeah, there would be a set seed, or you'd be able to qualify with any of the competition seeds, but and you could just choose whatever one you wanted. There's something there. We'll do that eventually. It's really just STM is my sandbox for things I've always wanted to try. So, and if people want to play it, they can. If they don't, they can skip it. Invisible Tetris. I mean, there's like 3 people who could play it. $237 Wide, 202 for Knight. Yeah, Sebi, that's the idea. It would be released well in advance. All right, little down stack and a Tetris for Wide, 313, 255 for Knight. The problem with the same seed tournament is I wonder if there would be a hesitation scheduling it early. Like, oh, I don't want our matches to go first. I want to see other players play first, right? Oops, sorry about that. Jostled the mic there. But yeah, I wonder. 373 for Knight, 450 for Wide. Chroma says, no bars is surprisingly more enjoyable than I expected. More fun than no next box. Yeah, no next box is a slog. But, you know, but it has its, you know, there's a challenge there, and it's a real test of skill. And no bars is a test of skill, too. I mean, trying to get the kind of the rhythm down for setting up for triples and keep, you know, the kind of wells open that you need for triples. I mean, there's something there. Tris Guy says, no bars is really cool mode. Yes, and I'm glad there's extra tiers because I definitely think I wouldn't get a chance to play as a Daster. It would be cool if I could get the the game flash, the Tetris flash, if that could happen with a triple, but this STM will be dominated by rollers. Yeah, it definitely will, but there's lower tiers, and so that was kind of the point of that. Some will. Let me go ahead and there we go. That's fine. Some it can't be the case that every game mode will be equally accessible to all play styles. It's just not possible. So 600,000 for wide into 19,544 for night. The idea is to sort of mix in things that are, roller, kind of oriented toward, roller tapping things, and then with some stuff that isn't, like secret grade or no row or something like that, right? And just have a variety. 601 for night, 612 for wide. Even DAS is kind of dominated by rollers. Well, there's nothing you can do about that except get good. Tetris for night, 655. So if you're like, I'm a DAS player, but there's too many rollers playing in DAS, well, I mean, that's a skill issue. Like, there's no reason. Oh, that's going to be a top up for wide, 643. Night is good at 684. There's no reason that just because you don't roll doesn't mean you can't be the best DAS player, right? Min out Tetris. Yeah, that was a mode in the original STM championships in 20 and 21, but I don't know. Could we do a whole tournament around it? Not sure. It'll definitely be in the champion. Minnow was cool. We would have to do it on like 19 though, I think. You like the Minnow? I did like Minnow. Was very exciting because I was like, oh no, he's gonna get a double. Oh, he lost. Yeah, could we do a whole tournament? If the top tier would have to be 19. Minout is trying to get the lowest possible score at transition. So when we did it originally at the top tier, it was an 18 start with the lowest possible score you can get. Like the lowest score wins at the 19 transition. So basically a 19 halts. And so that meant just lining out, which you think, oh, it's so easy. Everyone can line out. But what you learned is, yeah, not everybody can line out optimally. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're convincing me now. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it. D9AD32. All right. What's the lowest possible score into 19? 760 times 129 plus 800, I guess. All right, looks like both players are ready. In 3, 2, 1. Why stop at 19? Because we got things to do. All right, game number 4. Wide needs to win this one to force a deciding game number 5. All right, there we go. And we're good. It's even lower from a 0 start. Yeah, but that's not the point. Nobody was going to sit there and watch no push down from a 0 start. The idea is to test line out skills. See, we're testing. You guys don't understand. STM is testing, individual isolated skills in the same way that the Olympics test that with a lot of the, kind of events like that. Isolated skills. But playing from zero is not, like, nobody cares about whether you can line out from zero. If both players top out before 19, then the player who tops out first is the loser. Is that how we did it? I think it was the first top out was the loser. It was not the score at top out, because otherwise you could just get 0 points and top out, right? Just top right out immediately. So it was the earliest top out. I think that's what we did. 142 for night, 139 for wide. Oh, if a player topped out, beat their lines. Okay, yeah, you got to chase down their line count. Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, because you couldn't do earliest because, earliest in terms of, well, that's basically it. Earliest, not in terms of time, but in terms of the lines, right? Because time, players are offset because of stream delay. $233 for night, $190 for wide. There's a Tetris wide, $213. So yeah, you guys are convincing me I want to do it again. Would we get even 32 players who want to do that? I don't know. It does get exciting because, you think, oh, singling and doubling, right? The real difficulty in Tetris is consistently scoring Tetrises, right? That's what all the good top players do, is score a lot of Tetrises. And you think, oh, well, then bad players should be able to do this very easily because they're really good at getting singles and not getting Tetrises. And you think that is what you're going to see, but that is not the case at all. Like, the best players are the best stackers. Not who's the worst at getting Tetrises, right? Like, in that mode. Running quals might be tricky. Yeah, it didn't figure into the quals because in the early days, 333 for night, 352 wide, the early days when we did those early STM multi-mode championships, the overall qualifier was just no next box, right? And then that got you into the tournament that had many, many different modes, one of which was minnow. All right, Trebus wants to see it. How about minnow, then maximizing your post-transition? I guess. I mean, I don't know. That's gimmicky. There's no Tetris skill, which is score as low as possible. And then why wouldn't you just score higher than a minnow? And then we got to go get an accounting firm to go back and figure out the transitions and adding, no. You guys. But yeah, I mean, the players, when they're trying to line out, do force themselves into a situation where they take a double and they have to, or they take a triple. And I remember there were times like, oh no, he's forced to do a triple. And these were top players that couldn't avoid a triple. And when that is like the essence of efficient stacking, right? Is avoiding triples pretty much. Not the essence, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh, too many triples pass on, chew up Tetris opportunities, right? But yet they couldn't avoid a triple. So there's a real skill there. 509 for night, 541 for wide. How about no cam edition, like the old days when you didn't need a face cam? Martress, I love that you're here all the time. And I love that you're hanging out, and I love that you're a fan, but these are some of the worst suggestions. There's no skill in not having a cam. We are trying to test actual Tetris skills, not just have a meme tournament for no what is the benefit of that? Why is that good? 589 for wide. Tetris for night. just upon getting into 19. I'm being rage baited. That's fine. I need something to talk about on 18. Rage bait me all the time. 592 for Knight, 595 for Wide. So we are pretty close in score, but Wide has lines in hand. Now, here's the other thing. Wide, kind of a messy board, a little muddy board. Knight's board, clean. Line spins wins. Yeah, I mean, if we were going to do some sort of something like that, it would be Vitz's. Because that's a cool thing. But we, definitely like some sort of spin or setup or something like that. Cousin Oof with the Raid Party 12. Thank you, Cousin Oof. C-Dubs, I missed your tier 1 sub earlier. Thank you. 54 months. 688 for Knight, 659 for Wide. Tetris for Knight, 753, 745 for Wide. Yeah, I do. If I could, there may be a way. The problem is I want to do stuff in Tetris Gym. And if you do stuff that you can't do in Tetris Gym and count easily, then you have to do it by Game Genie, and not everybody has Game Genie. So, but if there was a way to assign point values to different spins and stuff, there is a Vitz ROM which will assign points for Vitz TO. But again, you'd have to have EverDrive, which I think really 852 for Wide, 890 for Knight. If like any competitive NES Tetris is a serious hobby for you, you should probably get an EverDrive so you can participate in everything. I know financially, I'm telling someone to buy something over $100. Oh my God. But if you have a serious hobby, like, you know how much hobbies cost people? Like, people spend money on hobbies all the time. And so one EverDrive, which gets you access to every single possible hack and thing you can do, an update of Tetris Gym, it's like a small investment for a hobby. 968 for Knight, 954 for Wide. Knight is going to top out at 968, and Wide is good in game number 4, and we are gonna move to a decider. There's the max for Wide. You can go ahead and mullen it out. It's unlikely any Game Genie codes can assign extra points for spins. No, but people make ROM hacks. That's what I'm saying. There's ROM hacks. So yeah, Javin T says hobbies cost thousands of dollars. So if you can get into a hobby for the cost of like a console, a controller, a TV, and an EverDrive, $200, whatever. I mean, that's a cheap hobby. All right, so that is gonna bring us to a D cider. The pieces are 67EA 8D. 67EA 8D. C-Dubs, we're gonna time you out. This is a 6-7 free zone, okay? No, that's fine. I'm glad that people did not leap upon the opportunity to do that. Just you, Colby. You're the only one. All right, looks like both players are ready. And what was once a best of 5 now is a best of 1 between Wide and Knight. This one single solitary game will determine who gets to the top 32 in 3-2-1 Tetris. And who else but you would say it? Yeah, well, you've got to. Yeah, you're right. That's fine. There you go. All right, we got a relatively simultaneous start this time. That'll help. Now, for fans of Knight, right after this match, we will be playing another match with Knight. That is going to be in the Masters event, where she'll be taking on Peak in round 1 of the Masters event in the orange bracket. This is the bracket that feeds into the number 1 seed, of course, and that number 1 seed this month is Dog. So good luck to all our players. All right, Longbar gets over. Tetris for wide, 69,000. He's got some tucks he can do over on that right. Just figuring it out. The spin. The delayed burn. That's going to cost another extra 3 lines of burning on wide side. You see the news report. They're banning 6-7 in schools. Which is dumb, like, because it's, you know, disrupting class is already banned. Like, so why do you have to ban a particular way of disrupting the class? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you already can't disrupt the class. So if, like, the teacher says 6 and then the kids go 6-7 or 7 or whatever, like, you're not already supposed to do that. So there's no why are they banning that particular phrase? Oh, well, the kids are writing it on the wall. Well, you're already not supposed to write things on the wall. Tetris 4 wide, 157, 213 for Knight. I was a bad student and interrupted a lecture to ask what CRM means, even though another small graphic on the screen had the term critical raw materials. I mean, that happens, though. Everybody's got their brain, you know, kind of brain dead, bonehead moments once in a while. Like I said, movements, for example. I mean, you're asking about material in the class because you don't know. That's what the class is for. 223 for wide, 335 for Knight. Writing on the wall, time to ban pencils? No, ban the phrase that they wrote on the wall. That's the idea. Right? Yeah. If somebody writes something on the wall, look at what they wrote on the wall and then ban that phrase. $384 for Knight. It makes zero sense. All right, Knight with a couple of delayed burns here, or skims, or whatever you want to call them, or blah, blah, blah. Gets set up for the Tetris and gets it 431. 293 for wide. Was behind and didn't do himself any favors with that misdrop of the T to the left. We'll see how efficiently he can clear that away. But try to do it. Minimizing burns, of course. Tetris for Knight. Mark just says, you can't really ban something you don't have any control over. I guess that is true. It's almost trivially true, because banning is a form of control. So if you don't have control, then how can you ban it? But people do it for, just to, hey, we're banning this. 552 for Knight, 389 for Wide. What's up, Giovanni? Geo hanging out in chat. Tetris for Wide for 12. Back by 110,000 points or a little more. Okay, kind of a rough board here for Knight, but can do it. There's a good triple. Yeah, good placement there for that incoming L piece. And the right side is open for Knight, and she's waiting on the bar. Oh, Wide barely gets that long bar over at 440 and doesn't really have any more burns. And this is going to be tough for Wide. He did not leave himself any burns. And that is going to be a top out for Wide. And Knight is good and will be moving on to the round of 32. So we have a full 32 player bracket now. Congratulations, Knight. GG's Wide. A pleasure as always. Thank you for the teal green or whatever shirt. I think in this tournament it's technically, is it aqua? I think that's what it's called. Oh no, it's mint. This is mint. So this is the mint bracket. So thank you for your mint shirts. They're so mint. Mint. Anybody my age remember like mint was slang? Like we saw a hot lady, or, oh, she's so mint. That's what we said in the 80s. That's what was in the 80s. All right, Knight with the mullen, because we get time for the mullen. All right, well, I guess I'm not going to use. Yeah, number 47 seed getting in, so go ahead and report this, by the way. Mint bracket. What was it? 3-2. 3 Knight, 2 Wide. Mint, what you were in the 80s, mint was not something you said. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just my area. Shadow says, my CRT isn't turning on. Push the button harder, plug and unplug it, smack it on the side. Do you have a remote control for it? You'll sub in. All right, Wide, you're in. It's Wide versus Knight again, Masters. Knight going for the max out. Just casually mullining a max out. The one achievement I've been chasing for years. Good. I'm glad you taught. I can't get a max, and neither should you. All right. No. GG's Knight. You are the winner. Give you your 3. There it is. You get the 3. All right, maybe it was a very specific place and time, 80s, late 80s in the Boston area. Peach? I never heard peach. Like you'd say she's so peach. I don't like that. Peach. That's crazy. All right, well, we've got another bracket to do. So let me deconstruct this scene. We have another thing scheduled on YouTube. We're just going to stay here. Let me just go ahead and delete that other one and change the title. Mega Dasters plus Masters. Knight wide. Who else? Shadow. Peak, Shadow. Okay, we'll just change that. We'll delete the other one. We'll just do it right here. Okay, let me go ahead and deconstruct this whole deal. Knight, gonna take a little nap. So we got to get rid of seed 22, seed 18. We always reset. Good hygiene is to reset your scene. I don't always do it, but I aspire to do it. And Mega Dasters is going to start in... Oh, I don't have a round 3. I'll have to make a round 3. All right, well, we'll do that to remind me to do that. Actually, I'll be confused by that. And get rid of the decider. So now we go to the Masters scene where Knight, okay, peak is 17. And Knight is 32. We'll fix the cams up. And I can actually just, copy transform. So Knight is seed 20, or slot 22 in Das Masters. And I will copy the transform. Copy transform. And then I will paste transform to Masters slot 32. And it should be exactly the same. Paste transform. Okay, good. Perfect. Beautiful. Game. Good. All right. Sleeping. Taking a little nappy. I like it. All right, let me fix Peak's cam. And I will read the rules, and I got a shill for the prize pool as well, guys. So you have time. What is peak 17? Yeah, peak 17. Wait. Oh, that's Das. There we go. All right. It's the happiest he's ever been. There you go. All right. Love it. All right, players, just bear with me for a moment. I got a shill for that prize pool. You know, I'm trying to earn y'all some money. People are like, can we just start? I'm like, oh, you don't want the prize pool to get big? Nah. You're probably like, nah, I'm not going to win any anyway. Oh, bother. The Eeyores of Tetris. You're sleeping. All right, ready? Bow now 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 dun 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 bum ba bum dun dun dun. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Van Dweller, and we are here with the Masters event, October 2025. It is the orange bracket for October 2025, and what we've got for you right now is a matchup in round 1 and round 2. In the orange bracket, it's going to be Peak versus Knight, and the winner will allegedly be taking on Shadow. Now, Shadow said, okay, we're back. Shadow originally said, my CRT isn't turning on. We told him, oh, hit it, smack it, turn it on, find a, smack it up, flip it, rub it down, whatever you got to do. And we're so back. So what happened, Shqdw? Did you smack it, or how did you get it to turn on? Anyway, yeah, it's going to be Peak versus Knight. The winner will take on Shqdw, and then the winner of that will move on later in the month to a round 1 match. I mean, a round 3 match, top 16 against Dog playing Tetris. So good luck. I laugh. Good luck to everybody in this as you embark on your journey to take on like just the most insane Tetris player ever. And yeah, so Peak versus Knight, winner versus Shqdw. The rules, y'all know the rules, right? You know the rules. Best of 5, level 18, level 39, super kill screen, score uncapped, same piece sets, re-rolled. No big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical, biological turbo only, right? Good. Don't get any real-time in-game advice while you are playing. Don't pause unless I tell you to. If you do experience tech issues, just keep playing. And the winner gets absolutely something, and that is a share at a prize pool, which stands right now at $1,333.96. Have we done all the contribution codes? Yes, we have. That's good. So right now we're paying our top 4. That means the winner gets 50, second 30, third and fourth each get 10. But we would love to pay our top 8. So please help us reach our top 8 incentive. You know, having a good, healthy prize pool is one of the things that keeps these players coming back every single month, maintains this tournament as one of the top, or maybe the top flight online tournament in the classic Tetris scene. And, you know, it's kind of the flagship event of the online Tetris scene. And we need that to be a healthy thing for the overall Tetris scene. So if you like Tetris, you like everything we bring in you, you like these players coming back, and you want to compensate them for their efforts and time and all that kind of stuff, well, contribute to the prize pool. That is a great way to do it. Go use the Matcherino command to watch. Use the Matcherino command to bring up the links. I'm not doing this to the normal music, so I'm totally thrown off. Like, it's crazy how reading these slides like integrates in my mind with the music. So anyway, use the Matcherino command to bring up the link to this tournament. The first one is the one you want to click on, and that'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. Top right-hand corner is where you log in. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. It's so easy. And then hit that mustard-colored button that says to contribute any amount. That's how to support the players, to support the channel, of course. Patreon is a great way to do that. Patreon.com/monthlytetris to make an ongoing pledge of support to keep this channel going, just like these people on the screen have done. Scott Gray, Jane, Window, K9, Tacky, Corporal, Shelby, Troy, Dan, Kim, M, Rogue, Potato, Cat, Kid, Javan T, Jason, Sonny Jr. A few other people I still yet to add to this slide, but thank you for... what is the name of the Say the Line song? The name of the Say the Line song is... oh, God. I know it by its... Hold on. As soon as I see it, I'll know it, but I'm blanking on it. The name of the Say the Line song is A New Beginning, technically, which is ironic because it's the end of the stream, but, you know, every new beginning is the beginning of some, what? Every new beginning is, I don't remember how it goes. Okay, so anyway, thanks, patrons. There's a lot of different ways to support us. You can use the support command to explore some of those. Remember, YouTube and Twitch, you have platform-specific ways to support us. And so far this stream, we have been supported by the following people: C-Dubs and Cousin Oof with the raid. So thank you so far. Oh, yeah. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end, right? So anyway, New Beginning, it's called. It's off the Enchanted album. Okay. All right, good. Yes. Tetris. We don't get to the Say the Line song very often in these early rounds, especially in DAS. So I hope I remember how to say the line when it comes time. It's got, you know, it has a fixed spot in the playlist. I could move it up, but it's all right. We've got a head start. You know, we're already halfway through Eye of the Storm. So you just have to listen to all of Perfect Getaway and Enchanted, and then, oh no, just all of Perfect Getaway. I feel good. All right, players, the pieces are in the chat. By the way, what are we talking about? The music. Support the music. I don't think I will ever change the music. So if you're sick of it, I'm going to run an ad real quick because I've run 0 ads so far. Anyway, players, the pieces are here. E0, E1, B0. Thank you, Shqdw, for the pin. Yeah, how can I change the music? All right, Knight, pieces are here. E0, E1, B0. Get that energy drink in you. There you go. Get some energy. All right, equal opportunity employer, 1 body odor. Okay. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them started. It's Peak versus Knight in round 1, orange bracket of the Masters event in 3, 2, 1 Tetris. On the right side of your screen, it's Peak, seed number 17 out of the USA with a PB of 1.84 million. Qualified into this tournament. There you go, qualified into this tournament. Anyway, qualified into this tournament with a 1.3 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. That 1.84 million PB, that is a top 60 score on the PB leaderboard. It's like, you know, a rollover plus more. Anyway, Peak, where do you know Peak from? You know Peak from, well, playing in various things, including the Space City Regional. Just a couple months ago, played in Tumpy's one-day tournament. Peak is also a one-time gold bracket player in CTWC. That was in 2021, the second online year. And also played in the silver bracket the following year. That was in person and made it into the top 4. That was the iconic year where DeAsian won it. And of course, was interviewed on the local news as the Tetris world champion for winning the silver bracket. Peak also one of a handful of players who have played in every single Mega Masters going back from 22 to 25. And of course, you know Peak for all his behind the scenes work with Classic Tetris League, as well as streaming Classic Tetris League and running their YouTube channel. He's played in Das Masters multiple times and has finished as high as the top 4, which he did in the second ever Das Masters. Also played in the Stupid Tetris Monthly No Next Box. Made it to the round of 16. 228 for Peak, 309 for Knight. So Knight ahead, by like 100,000 points despite the board right now. So Knight with that column 5 center well. And Tetris for Knight, 361. 257 for Peak, little S flat there. Try to keep that well open. And a Tetris for Peak, 281. And on the right side of your screen, it is Knight, a known Canadian. Knight qualled in, I will explain, with an 886,000. Now, how do you qualify into Masters with an 886,000? Well, how that happened was that Knight was in the top 4 in the previous CTM month, and therefore got an automatic bid into the next month. And of course, you have to submit a qualifier. So I think this is a little bit of a maybe a low effort qualifier, kind of a malicious compliance qualifier from Knight, but it doesn't matter. The qualifier was submitted. She earned her way in. So that explains that. So anyway, Knight, a Canadian, has a PB of 3.49 million. Is ranked number 9 in the most recent Premier poll. $525 for Knight, $407 for Peak. There's a Tetris Peak, $455, $548 for Knight. So yeah, Knight coming in sort of with that low seed, but with the, top 10 ranking in the Open Premier poll. Anyway, Knight from appearances this year at the Genesis Regional, where she took top 3 in both Open and DAS tournaments. Won a Future Circuit back in February of 2022. Played in DAS Masters a bunch. 2-time gold bracket. 604 for Knight into 19, 503 for Peak. Knight with a 2-time gold bracket. Played in Jonas Cup last year, got 10th. Or 3-time gold bracket, 3-time gold bracket. Peak 531, 679 for Knight. Knight also a 2-time Mega Masters player, made it to the top 16 this year. And Tetris for Knight, 762, 568 for Peak. There's a spin and a skim there for Peak. Kind of placing that long bar in column 9. I gotta believe that was a miss. Although I've seen people do that, just like a naked antenna long bar in column 9. I've seen that done on purpose. Must have its place. All right, Peak here, 607, up high-ish, medium high. Of course, both players rolling, so they can deal with these digs. I won't say no problem, but relatively with, some success. And there's a dirty for peak 648, but 820 for night. There's a Tetris peak 685, back by like 170,000 points. 30 lines to go until the next speed increase. That happens at level 29, of course. Nowadays, players will play well past what was once called the kill screen. There's a dirty triple. So players will essentially have until level 39, 330 lines in, do all the scoring that they can do. Another dirty triple peak, trying to bring this down and just like, please don't let me get into any more of these digs. All right, looking for an L piece, but gets it, fills in with the bar instead. All right, going to open up that right side, a little bit of dependent board, so he's going to chunk something over there to the right. Try to keep a good board. Just a few lines away from level 29 and just wants to bring this down a few rows. We can sort of deal with it, but this is getting kind of scary here for peak. The long bar gets over, so a little bit of a high transition. Long bar gets over Tetris for peak. Can he survive? He's got a little bit of a diving board in the center of that stack with that J piece. A64 for night, and no, he's not going to be able to survive peak with the top out 777. Night, you are good in game number 1. I did a singles only run, level 0 start, got 231 lines and topped out at 112. Trebus thinks, does anyone think Peak looks like actor Jimmy Smits from Dexter? It's so funny that when you hear Jimmy Smits, you think of Dexter. Because I think of NYPD Blue. And I guess The West Wing. That's funny. But like Dexter was like a lot of time after he'd, so it's funny that you think that. I mean, it's not funny, it's fine. All right, new pieces. You don't see it? Bro, you look exactly like Jimmy Smits, okay? You don't see it. You're a qual, you didn't have a console set up? Oh, that's right, you were on emulator. Right. We'll allow it this time. I prefer to say it's malicious compliance just because it's, funnier, but never let fact get in the way of a joke. Condensed Aaron says, I'm so fed up with the Tetris category. He says 72 people watching. I click on it, 0 streams. Yeah, there's something so borked about the Tetris categories. Like, it's actually really insane. All right, looks like both players are ready. Both players are on seed. And 3, 2, 1, Tetris. It's so dumb to have these, Twitch used to have a handful of categories that said Tetris, one that was 1989, one that was 1980, one that was 1994, maybe a couple of others, but it was just Tetris. But of course, Tetris has been released on dozens, scores, hundreds, I don't know, hundreds of versions across dozens of platforms. I don't know, there are dozens of platforms, whatever. And so, I don't know, they reoriented all of their categories on Twitch to ensure that every single release of Tetris has its own category, even though nobody plays really any other category. So all it has done Like nobody play. You know, there's nobody playing. Oh, I'm playing the Tetris, the version of Tetris on the Wonder Box from 1992. That, you know, like nobody. I don't know. Is that even a thing? Who knows? The Wonder Box. It should be. Like nobody's playing it, and yet it's wreaked total havoc across, you know, the categories. You try to find a Tetris category to watch, or you try to find, especially one to stream on, and people are just now streaming across all different Tetris categories. It's nothing to do with NES Tetris. Like in my thing, like, all right, 125 here for peak, 160 for night. I use restream.io. It's I've got this thing in OBS which allows me to choose the category that I'm under. Now on Twitch, it will give you the year. So if you're on Twitch, you can sort of, okay, Tetris 1989. You can't search by Tetris 1989. It just says it next to it. But it doesn't affect your search results at all. But in Restream.io interface for OBS, it doesn't give the year at all. It just says the word Tetris. So when you go to search for Tetris category, there's like 25 different identical Tetris categories. And the only way I've landed on the one that I have and gotten it right is trial and error. Like I literally kept trying the same identical words to get onto the category until I just landed on it. It was really stupid. I don't know what Twitch is doing. There's no thought behind it. They probably just have like some new vendor that provides them their, you know, their list of games, and they updated their categories based on that. And like, who knows? It's just thoughtless and stupid. There's no one to complain to. You'll just get a customer service response, you know, like, you know, we appreciate your feedback. Right now, each individual game release will get its own, you know, like you'll just get, you know, yeah, I know that. That's what I'm complaining about. Like if there was a mind behind it making a decision, like you can see in 5 seconds that it's stupid. 313 for peak, 370 for night. Yeah, and like the real, so one Tetris category has 123,000 viewers. That's the NES Tetris 1989 category. Like no other one even comes close. So that's the one that people are going to want to look at, and or they have in their following feeds, you know, on Twitch. But, you know, kind of unsuspecting, unwitting streamers are streaming it. Oh, I want to stream Tetris. Like click Tetris. I'm streaming to it. Why is no one rating me, or, you know, because it's not the right Tetris. It's idiotic. 429 for peak, 463 for night. Someone please clip that discussion and just send it to Twitch. Not that it'll do anything. But there you go. You can clip it and send it to Twitch if you want to. Everyone send that. Just clip that and then just flood Twitch customer support and social channels with that rant. And maybe that's at least something we can do. 511 for night, 477 for peak. Now, one possible thing that could be good about it is potentially you could start just creating little niche sub communities of the, I mean, why we want to divide it up, I don't know. But if you're like, oh, well, we're a group and we want to have our own little identity and stream for each other, you just go to one of these other Tetris categories that nobody follows or watches, and then, you know, you can all stream to that, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but that's like the only positive thing. 632 for night on 18. Long bar in and Tetris 656 and 600K transition for peak. So both 600K transitions. All right, both players, or Knight up pretty high here, taking some burns down, finally going to survive here. Stayed clean really the whole time. Great skimming. Couple Tetrises now back down to the bottom. No perfect clear for Knight. Tetris for Peak and Knight. Knight ahead by 127,000 points. By the way, I've got major Tetris effect right now. My Tetris effect goes into like overdrive when I'm fasting. So like when I'm looking at Peak's grid right now, like his whole board, I see a little very faint black and gray grid overlaid the entire black portion of the playfield. Just totally crazy. 743 for Peak, 920 for Knight. All right, Knight chops down. Open. A triple into a Tetris for Knight. Max out on 26. You just have the playing too much modern Tetris syndrome? I can't remember the last time I played modern Tetris. Like maybe on my phone, like 10 years ago? I don't know. Tetris for Knight, A88 on 28 now. And that little Mino is going to cost her a Tetris opportunity. 1.1 though, 893 for Peak. Looking for a bar right now, gets it to fill in. There's one Tetris. Peak could potentially get another with no burns, but probably going to find a burn here. And triples right down. 938 for Peak. B50 for Knight. That long bar to the left. Not quite yet accessible, but burning this down should now be accessible and is. Peak with a party down the middle. 984 for Peak. B65 for Knight. Tetris Knight C10. All right, Knight's board climbing a little bit, blocked. Needs to unblock. Peak with the max out, finally surviving. Long bar, column 2 for Knight. He's going to survive. Transfer that well back over to column 10. Peak Tetris A52, so 210,000 point lead for Knight, just about 50-something lines to work with. And oh no, Peak with that ZP's misdrop that's going to kind of set him back a little bit. It's kind of 200,000 points can be made up, but you have to downstack this board first and then get all the points he's going to need to make up. And it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen. And he's going to top out. And Knight is good in game number 2 and goes up 2 games to none. You've never played Tetris Forever? I have not played Tetris Forever. Why would I don't know, I guess. Maybe at some point I will. When I retire from NES Tetris, I'll have all the time in the world to play all the other things. So I do love Tetris generally, but I don't have time. I only have time in my life for one Tetris. This is it. All right, Knight E95 and level 39 and oh no, 337 lines, 3 lines away from level 40, which is absolutely bonkers. All right, the new pieces are here. 623B7E, 623B7E. Zuli says, GG again. We are frozen at 161 subscribers. We lost 100 over September. We gained about 35 of them back. If you want to help us out over on Twitch and restore us to our former glory, consider becoming a sub on Twitch. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can do that for free. 623B7E. 623B7E. Your foot is numb? All right. Maybe stand up. You could just be sitting on a nerve or something like that. If you can stand up, maybe try doing that. All right. There you go. There is a new giveaway. Random viewer faked gifted a stencil ready shirt to the chat. Type join. Now I don't know if it's exclamation point join or regular join, but do both. Is it exclamation point or regular join? I don't know. All right, both players have joined. That means it's time to start. Knight is up 2 games to none. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. I don't know if regular join gets it, exclamation point. I don't know. So just type join a lot. Can you type it in the context of a sentence? Anyway, but if you do want a free shirt, a random fake viewer has gifted a shirt to the chat. It's the one that says stencil ready. Now, that doesn't work on YouTube. It's only on Twitch. Sorry, YouTube. And thank you to it's been a while since we've had. I haven't been pimping the merch store because, I want to get some fresh designs in there. But anyway, use the join command or join exclamation. Do both. Fresh designs. I have some grand designs that I want to be done. Fresh Designs 82. 98,000 for Peak, 24,000 for Knight. And game number 3. Grandy Pants. All right, it says I don't know how long we have. Like I thought, it's all right. It's 3 minutes, so that's a good amount. Knight is set up. Column 4 finally gets the Tetris. She's gonna stay there. No, she's gonna just take the triple. Not gonna mess around. 151 Peak. 67,000 for Knight. So Peak in the lead. 85,000 points. It's about 4 Tetrises. All right, type join. I think we're running out of time. And it went to Kat Kunoichi. You are the winner of a shirt. So thank you to Random Viewer Fake. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I have some design ideas, and once I get out of this apartment hell that I'm in right now and just have time to decompress. There's a new giveaway, an Angry Bear can glass. So it says YouTube smells anyway, gifted the Angry Bear can glass. So if you're over on Twitch and you agree that YouTube smells, then type join. Again, I don't know if it's just join or not. I'm going to only type join just to see if it works. Like if I win, then I'll know join alone works. 218 for peak. No, Cat typed both. $373 for peak, $242 for night. Zuli is typing it in every possible way. Javanti says, I'm only typing the exclamation point one. All right. Or you're typing only, not only typing. You're also thinking about the exclamation point one. You're also testing the exclamation point one. So you're typing only. The placement of only in sentences is kind of like a pet issue of mine, because most people put it in the wrong place. 470 for peak, 356 for night. And if you read it literally, then you know it has weird implications when it's placed not correctly. But it's fine. People know what you mean. All right, Knight is setting up dirty. We'll get a triple. Oh, the placement of that L piece is going to miss. It's going to leave her with a T-spin set up. Gets the T and the spin. And, yeah, it's going to slow her down a little bit. See if she can get that bar real quick. Has some chops here she can take with that Z, and the bar just not coming when she needs it. Just getting that triple, and finally bar right upon 19 entry. 424 now for Knight, 534 for peak. He's got a 110,000 point lead. Another dirty for Knight, 451. And Zuli is the winner. Congrats, Zuli. We really should test it in a way like you're only allowed to type one or the other. Or everyone should only type one or the other and then just see which side wins. 676 for peak, 568 for Knight. But people won't do that. People will. Nothing is convenient. Oh, nothing is convenient for me shipping wise or inconvenient. It's an automated system. I don't ship anything. It's like a print on demand thing, and then it ships from a warehouse that I have nothing to do with. So the fact is that some amount of the shipping is covered to some places. It depends on the place and that kind of thing. Depending on where you are, there may be a part of the shipping that is not 100% covered, and I will make up a small amount of that automatically in my settings. So but you may have to bear some small shipping costs for some locations. But they have locations all around the world, so most people don't have to pay anything extra. It's just odd situations. 737 for night, 824 for peak. Stream Elements documentation says the exclamation version. Okay. $892 for peak, $775 for night, who gets a Tetris. So peak's still in the lead. Has been in the lead really most of the way through. Gonna miss that L spin night, but column 8 Tetris is found and achieved. We are just about to hit level 29. Peak is in at 956. Night is in at 891. Peak is going to hang a L piece over, but gets a long bar around it to get the Tetris and bring this back down. Tetris for night, 941. Peak with the max on 30. Peak's board a little complicated here. That left side is going to be cut off. Chase down target for night is going to be A09. That is the target. He's got a clean board. He's chippity chopping it down. Safe strats now. That is not safe on that left side. The bar gets over. That right side is the problem. So Knight going for the win here, but this board is going to be tough to survive. All P can do is watch and wait and hope. So Knight trying to clutch this out. That right side. Still another. Oh my goodness. 994. And no, Knight is not going to be able to chase this down. So Peak will fight on. Wait, to live to fight another game. There you go. That's a thing you can say. All right, new pieces. 596B F1. 596B F1. Javanti, world's fastest pinner. All right, players, you can take a moment if you want to. That's fine. There's no problem. But the seeds are here. 596BF1. Yeah, those last several lines from Knight. I mean, I thought there was going to be a chance she's going to clutch it out. Maybe she would have. Different pieces. Lucy loves Twix. Thank you for the follow. Twix are good. They're making me hungry. A special moderators only giveaway that's decided by the number of seeds pinned. Can you track that? Can you track the number of pins? $596BF1. Do you like the left or the right Twix? It's a good question. I think I opened the Twix so that the right side is open. So I think I eat the right side first, but the left one is really the best one, I think. All right, both players ready. Knight up 2-1 in 3-2-1 Tetris. So yeah, it's the left one because the left one is the second Twix, which just, you know, I'm primed, I'm ready. The first one is like the appetizer. The second one's like the main course. I'm fully primed to enjoy the Twix. So yeah, I'm like left Twix, I think. Peak says, I don't eat Twix. Why? Of course, I mean, of course he doesn't, but because it might make you smile, and we can't have that. Oh my God, he's laughing. What the heck? 69,000 for peak, 68,000 for night. All right, we got a redemption. Shirts and cups are being given away. We like to see it. Thanks again to all the various unknown people gifting merch to the chat. Now, I wonder if there are people that eat Twix by like opening one end, pulling out one Twix, eating half of that, pulling out the other one, eating half of that, and then closing up the Twix to eat later to eat the other two halves. Are people doing that? They better not. We live in a society. 161 for night, 164 for peak. They're really good when you put them in the fridge. Effective product placement. If only, you know, somebody would want to sponsor us, but why? why would they? I don't know. It's a mess. I would love a sponsor. I mean, you can't have a sponsor in 2025, you know, because they'll send private detectives on the sponsor and look up every little thing about them. But that's it. We're just going to have to do telethons, right? No sponsors, do a telethon. We don't have Twix. They are called Shqdw here. How do you say that? Shqdw. How do you say that? I'm going to Google Translate. Rattlesnake. Apparently it means rattlesnake. Is that right? Oh. You made it up? Oh. Oh, now it says good luck. You have Twix? All right, good. Thank God. 366 for peak, 440 for night. Game number 4. I ate a Twix when that was called Raiders. I don't know what that means. You can totally have a sponsor in 2025. Just check whether you would buy their product. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of products I would buy, I guess. But like, I don't do some purity test around products I buy for the most part. I just like, do I like the product? Dirty Tetris for peak, 463, 531 for night. Colby says, I would never buy a product. I make everything from scratch. Every time? And how scratch is scratch? Like, raise the chicken. Where do you get the feed? Cut down the lumber to make the chicken house. What do you use to cut the tree down? Do you mine your own ore to make the saw? To cut down the tree to house the chicken? to lay the egg. 668 for Knight, 538 for Peak. There's a Tetris for Knight. Potentially one more Tetris if she can get an L. No, it's not going to happen. Well, maybe it'll happen. Good board here. And there we go. 715,000 transition from Knight. And of course, you never want to get a good transition in CTM like that. Because the risk of like going for, you know, having that perfection mindset does not serve you well at 19. So we'll see if Knight can downstack this. Almost seems like it gets cursed though. We'll see. 640 for Peak. Like, have we ever seen anyone like survive a 700k transition? All right, so Knight is good. 755 on 21. Peak 696, back by 60 or what, 70,000 points, 75,000 points. So not that far behind when when you realize that Knight was, at a 700k transition. So Peak still in good shape here. 753, 801 for Knight. The Dangler curse. Someone said, I'm not saying that. Someone said that. All right, 863 Knight, 813 Peak, 50,000 point lead for Knight, one line apart. I like those arrow bars that I think are British. I like those bars. There's another bar that has a tiger on it. I forget the name of it. I like that one. $958 for Knight, $848 for Peak. I don't think it's called the Tiger's Milk Bar. Is that what it is? I think it's a one name thing, but you can get it at grocery stores with an international section. Sometimes carry that stuff. 868 for Peak. A02 Knight with the max now in a much bigger lead, 130,000 points ahead. Of course, Knight also ahead in lines a little bit. Is it just called a lion bar? Like, yeah, that might be what it's called, actually. It would be weird if if a lion was on a tiger bar. A82 for Knight, B16 now. Tetris for Peak. He's got the A13. In each potentially Tetris two more times. Peak gonna make Knight gonna make a gap here. B57. And a triple for Peak into 29. There's a dirty Tetris one row off the bottom. Column 10. Peak A97. B65 for Knight. I'm going to fight this board back down. It's creating gaps in a few different rows and columns as the board is upstacked a little bit. Knight trying to fight this board down. B89. Peak kind of all in here. Gets a couple of skims, and waiting on a bar. Trying to fight and keep this open, but getting droughted. And that is going to be a top out for Peak. Peak really didn't have any burns because of the way that stack was configured. So he could not really go down column 9 and 10 with anything other than a long bar. And that came back and bit him. And Peak will top out. And Knight is good and will be moving on to round 2. Peak, you did great. You did amazing. It was not to be this month, but we will see you in future months. I hope we see you. Maybe we won't. Maybe this is it. Maybe you're done. You've had it. But I hope to see you. So, Knight, gonna mull in a bit, and not gonna do anything. All right, 3-1 Knight. We're gonna move on. Knight will take on Shadow Knight. So is it Shadow Knight versus Knight? Yeah, that was it was a good qual. Seed 17, really good. You just got to get one more slot higher, and you don't have to play these round ones. One slot higher. One slot higher, dude. All right, goodbye, Peak. Seed 17, gone. Seed 16, in. Shadow Knight. All right, give me a moment. We'll be right back. Gonna deform. Oh, run an ad. Run some ads. Make them dollar bills. We had a really bad month on Twitch, as expected, since we didn't stream in September, but we'll make up for it. Gotta run ads. Okay. We'll refresh these streamsicles. Let's see, 16 and 17. Oh, you're on Shadow Knight with a K. Got it. I forgot about that. All right, little behind the scenes magic, right? This is how we get our players to look like they have a bigger camera than they do. All right, there's one. We do one around this point as well. We will do, I think this is like right around here. And then one for the black. And we'll see how it turns out. Well, the black is already there, so I guess it's not a big deal. Oh my God, look at it. It looks terrible. That's fine. Oh wait, I didn't even do it on the right one. Did I do it on the right one? I think I did. And the lighting has changed in Knight's room, so we gotta change that. You gotta follow the lighting changes, you know? That's the tough part. No, don't turn anything on. Don't turn anything on. Don't turn anything on. Leave it as it is. All right. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. All right, players, you got another minute to warm up. I will be right back in a sec. All right, my peeps. Why can't I hear anything? I hear nothing. Oh, that's because we're in between songs. Okay, players, it is time. Stop messing around. You guys are delaying me way too much. My God. F7, B2, F5. F7, B2, F5. We've got our Element Sparkling Electrolyte Drink Lemonade Salt flavor. Like a nice, salty, sweet. It's not that sweet. Lemonade. Ready? Oh, yeah. There you go. Thanks for the seed, Pin Javanti. F7, B2, F5. F7, B2, F5. Someone gifted the long bar. I think that is a shirt. The long bar shirt. Players, type join if you want it. Exclamation point join is what Stream Elements says. I'm going to type regular join just to do that. All right. I don't know if you want one night, but you can type it if you need to. Okay. F7, B2, F5. All right. Looks like both players are ready. Round 2. The winner goes to the round of 16. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Lucy loves Twix with the tier 1 sub. Thank you, Lucy. Appreciate that. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On the left side of your screen, seed number 16. That rhymes. Very grand design. On the left side of your screen, number 16. Hell yeah. Anyway, yeah, Shqdw from the United States of America with a PB of 1.67 million. Shqdw qualified in with a 1.313 million. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. By the way, that PB is a top 60 score. Shqdw's got matches going all the way back to April of 2021 in Community Tier 3. Played a bunch of classic Tetris League. You've seen Shqdw at CTWC Philadelphia the last couple of years. Played in Stupid Tetris Monthly this year. CTWC Northeast had an early match against Tugi. That's a tough draw, round 1. Played in Mega Masters in 2025. Oh, and won a Community Tier 3, right? Yeah, I think won a Community Tier 3. That was back in March of 24. Shqdw also played in Pumpy's one-day tournament. So you've seen Shqdw, and quite a bit more frequently in 2025. 2025 is certainly most active competitive Tetris year for Shqdw, and I, for one, happy to have him. 198 for Shqdw, 242 for Knight. On the right side of your screen, it is Knight. Round 32, seed 32 defeated Peak in round 1 to make it here to round 2. Knight is a Canadian. And I was going to say, man, if we're going to add people to the list of Canadians just in case, but I don't know. It's starting to be a little too close to reality to joke about. So maybe I will stop doing that. But anyway, Knight from Canada, number 9 on the open list. The Premier Poll, premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. You find the full rankings over there. And Knight, you have seen very recently making it to the top 4 in Classic Tetris Monthly August. Went out against the eventual winner of that. Is a 3-time CTWC Gold Bracket player, 21, 22, and 25. Played in Jonas Cup last year, got 10th. 2-time Mega Masters player, made it to the top 16 this year. Was 3rd at the Genesis Regional in both Open and DAS categories. And that was all the way back in, January. So here is Knight. 313 for Shqdw, 428 for Knight. Tio says, I do in fact regularly think about going to Canada. Probably would have already if I didn't live in Massachusetts. Why can't you, if you're in Massachusetts, you can't go to Canada? I don't get it. Seems like you could easily go to Canada. $480 for Knight, 363 for Shqdw. This is going to be a best of 5. The winner moves on to the round of 16. We'll take on number 1 seed and previous winner of the Masters event, Dog Playing Tetris. Monthly Tetris won the anonymous gift of the long bar. So wait a minute, I just typed join without an exclamation point. Oh, I see, Tio, because of protections. Got it. So yeah, I tested it and I typed join without an exclamation point. I did not type an exclamation point and I won. So I think we have determined. All right, let me go ahead and re-gift that. Let me go re-gift that. Although I kind of want it, but that's okay. I don't have one. Should I do it? No, I shouldn't. $648 transition for Knight. Another big transition pace for Knight. I don't even remember how to do. How do I log in Street? I don't even remember how to do this. It's been so long. Some good products in here. What do we do? All right, we should pimp this. $679 for Knight. $606 for Shqdw. Oh, it's fourth wall, right? Fourth wall. All right, 846 for Knight, 747 for Shadow. I'm going to redo that giveaway once the players are done with this game so they can join it as well. But wait, look at that. We have determined that you can just type join. Yeah, you're saying it literally says join works, not join. Yeah, but that's been like, there's been some debate about it and conflicting things in the documentation, actually. 831 for Shadow, 893 for Knight. There's a Tetris for Knight, 926. Tetris for Knight, max out A31. Tetris is going into 29, will be worth 36,000 points. And go up 1,200 points every level increase. Shadow with the max into 29. Tetris Knight B10. Both into level 30 now. Knight ahead by 60,000. There's a Tetris Knight. There's another Tetris Shadow B02. There's a skimming at Tetris for Knight B94. Shadow trying to reestablish a well here. A couple of rows to burn away. Knight C39. Over about 120-something thousand point lead. Shadow going to take a triple. Kind of a janky board there. Going to take that triple. Shadow trying to set up again. Going to take a triple. Knight is setting up column 9 and gets it. D09 for Knight. Shadow is set up and there's a Tetris. So 40 lines to go till the super kill screen, which we will not have next month, by the way. And that is going to be a top out for Shadow at C08. And Knight is good in game number 1. All right, I'm going to redo this giveaway. That way both players can join if they want to. So thank you, Anonymous, for gifting that. Sorry I won it, but we're re-gifting it. And you don't have to type exclamation point. You can just type regular join. Joine. What? Joine. What? Join. Join. Don't type join with an E. That won't. Will it work? Now we got to try that. Now I'm going to try that. Let's try it. All right. New pieces for the players. Joine. I don't know what I was thinking. Join. Join E-Fish. All right, first time chatter with the greed. Love it. Greggy Spike. See, that's why greed is good. Now I'm going to chat for the first time. Join. If I win it again, that's ridiculous. The pieces are in the chat, right? Aren't they? Did the pieces not go in the chat? All right, they're looking at me like, all right, well, I guess those are the pieces. C3, A, B, C5. I hit the button, but I guess I didn't address the button properly. C3, A, B, C5. C3, A, B, C5. It's like a news station. I love classic Tetris, says Mr. Greggy Spike. I do too. C3, ABC5 on your side. Anybody with those old Nathan Fielder on your side segments? Like before he did Nathan for You? Those are great. On your side. C3 ABC 5. Looks like both players are ready. Both players want to start playing Tetris, so I say let them start playing Tetris. 3, 2, 1 Tetris game 2 in this best of 5. Lucy says, I'm supposed to be writing about Tetris right now, but I'm watching it instead. Lol. What are you writing about Tetris? Why don't we see the rocket on top level player rounds? The rocket? Lucy, you are the winner. Lucy has won. Why don't we see the rocket? Oh, I see the rocket screen. So we use a special modification of the Tetris game, which introduces some features we use in competition and for training and practice. That modification removes certain elements like the rocket screen after the end of the high score and other things. $121 for Knight, $141 for Shadow. It's for your college class. You're supposed to do an article analysis on 2 sources regarding Tetris. Like Tetris, like you were assigned Tetris, or you picked the topic of Tetris? You pick the topic. All right. Well, here's a very important article you should read. There you go. There's one of your articles. 215 for Knight, 258 for Shadow. All right, there you go. Look at that. I'm in citations. $361 for Knight, $353 for Shadow. And that's going to be a top out for Shadow at 354 on 18. You don't love to see it. So Knight is going to be good in game number 2 and go up 2 games to none. Do I think this could become a viable esport? Absolutely not, says Fractal. 063C D6. I'm a little more. I'm like, if If he's saying absolutely not, that's like a 0 out of 100. I'm like a 2 out of 100 on whether it could be. And that's my glimmer of hope that keeps me in. 063CD6, 063CD6. Anyway, Lucy, you have won the shirt. So make sure you go to ctm.wtf. ctm.wtf to redeem. I said that because I also own ctwc.wtf. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but if somebody has like a really good use for it, pitch me and maybe I'll give it to you. 063CD6. All right. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Shqdw needs to win this one to continue on in this match. Just make CTWC WTF auto redirect to the 2016 Jeff Neck meme YouTube video. That's a thought. I do like that. You're going to be the coolest kid on the block. Well, I'm sure you will. I'm sure they'll go, whoa, what is that? And they'll go, oh, they go, I don't know. I just wanted it on some Twitch channel. Oh, okay. I think you will be the coolest kid. Tetris Shqdw 69,000, 45,000 for Knight. Lucy, are you a journalism major? Is this like a journalism class? Oh, or is this... Oh, this might be high school too. That's probably high school. College kids are too busy to watch or play Tetris. 167 for Shqdw, 126 for Knight. What's up, Tacky? What's going on? Ignore. I'm going to ignore that. I was at one point I was a triple major of philosophy, economics, and journalism. Advanced English? Ah, got it. Business major. Makes sense. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Van Dweller, host of Classic Tetris Monthly, and I'm asking you to do me a favor. If you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, please subscribe and bang that notification bell. And follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/monthlytetris. Thank you, and have a nice day. I haven't said that in like a month and a half. So I don't know if I got it right, but... Where can a prospective cool kid get CTM gear to rock? Oh yeah, over at ctm.wtf. Well, K-Taco, it didn't work out too well for me because I dropped out twice. $359 for Knight. You're barely getting one major. You wouldn't last three. Yeah, it's too many. It's too many. I mean, my theory was, and I guess still is, you can like integrate all your like, you know, general education requirements and other requirements and kind of overlap. And I had a good plan for doing that, but that wasn't the reason I dropped out. But I mean, I think I could have done it. Uh, 427 for Knight, 397 for Shadow. Did I ever finish? I did not. There's the Vits after the tuck for the with the T there. I didn't ever finish. Maybe should I go finish? What do you think? One, if I should go finish, although I might probably have to restart at this point. All right, one in chat if I should finish. Two if I shouldn't. Two. Javan T says no. Oh, I should get a sponsor to return? Oh, goodness. Two, we need you here to narrator for us. All right. Well, that's true. Yeah, it's against your interest to say two. Unless you want me off. Unless you want me done with Tetris. Like, get out of Tetris. We're sick of you. Let Tyler take over. Oh, a little bit of kind of spastic panic placements here for Shadow. Tyler take over? Yeah, he's not ready. He's not ready. Tetris for Shadow, 594. 577 for Knight. So Shadow in the lead, and that's good for him because he's got to win this one to stay in. It's not a big lead, but it is a lead. Tetris Shadow 683 and another one 713. All right, Dirty Triple Knight. I think that was column 9. All right, well, it's a 1. So it looks like one. I guess the chat is voted for me to go back and finish. All right. Well, we're done with CTM, guys. It's over. Tetris for Knight, 730. 787 for Shadow. It was a good run. It was. I don't know. I hope Classic Tetris lasts a long time as a competitive thing. I really hope it does. Should I have to stream my college experience? All right, I'll do that. I should do that. 927 for Knight, 889 Shadow. How do people afford college? I don't even know how people afford it. All right, we are into the 29 phase. Max out for Knight and Shadow with 975. So Knight is in the lead. Oh no, kind of misdrop of the S piece. Shadow trying to bring this down, getting pieces to the... Ooh, no. And oh no, that left side, that is going to be a top out for Shadow, and Knight is good. And will be moving on to the round of 16 to take on the number 1 seed, Dog, playing Tetris. Later, not today, but later. Anyway, GG Shadow, you did great. Always a pleasure. I'm glad that you are here and having an active year of Tetris. So hope to see you again. But for now, it's going to be Knight, seed number 32, not your typical seed number 32. Colby says, the secret is that you don't afford college and just hope some future president forgives all your debt. Yeah, that's a good plan. You know, that's not a good plan. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen. Like, I took out the debt. I'm responsible. And so I paid it off. I had it, you know, I had it over my head for a long time, and then I just buckled down and I decided to pay it off, and I had it all paid off in under a year after living with it for like 2 decades. All right, Knight is good. So you're going to be moving on, Knight. Congratulations to you. And yeah, congrats to all of us, really. All right, folks, that is going to do it. Let's take a look at our round of 16 situation. We still have one more of our top 16s to fill in, and that is who is going to play against Meme. So who is that? What is? I don't even know what that is. I feel like Mega Dasters has swamped the whole thing. All right, so it's either going to be Kirby or Oscar. So we're just one player away, one match away from figuring out who our top 16 is all going to be. And it's either going to be Kirby versus Oscar. That is going to take place, I think it's scheduled. That's on Saturday at 3 p.m. Texas time. It's going to be 20 UTC, right? 12 plus 3 is 15 plus 5 is 20. That's UTC. Okay. So yeah, Masters Red Round 2 Saturday, Kirby versus Oscar. In fact, that is the next thing that I have scheduled. I don't think much else is going to be scheduled because it's Jonas Cup weekend, but it's definitely possible. I mean, I think in these matches, for a lot of them, at least there's for a lot of these, at least one, if not both, are Jonas Cuppers. So, I mean, Dog will probably be there, Miles and Tristot maybe. Shqdw probably there. I don't know about Dangler. Pixel Andy, you would hope. Meme, probably. Cobra, I don't know. I don't know who's going to be. I don't know who's going to be there. I don't know. I guess I can go look. But anyway, okay. That is where we stand. We're just waiting on the winner of Kirby versus Oscar of a full top 16. Brackets can start to be scheduled. I mean, the ones that these other ones already can now. I don't see him yet, but well, that Dangler versus Akatu is for Tuesday coming up. So. All right. Well, thanks everybody for supporting the channel. These are the people who supported the channel. Also, thanks to the gifters for gifting merch. So new followers, Greggy Spikes, Faraj, Lucy, Twitch subs, C-Dubs, and Lucy. Thank you, Cousin Oof, with the raid party of 12. Okay, and then patrons, we got you guys, patreon.com/monthlytetris, making an ongoing pledge of support, just like these people have done. Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9 Techie, Corporal Shelby, Troy, NKM, Rogue Potato, Keka, Javin T, Jason, Sunny Jr., everybody on the slide, plus a few others that I have not added, and I will add. I've got time now. I don't know, today or tomorrow I'll add them. Thank you Guys, prize pool is still stuck on $1,333.96. I'm sure we will get to our $2,000 incentive. So thank you, everybody. Okay, that is going to do it for me, your old pal, Van Dweller. I will see you when I see you, probably Saturday. I don't think anything's going to be scheduled between now and then, but it's possible. It's possible. And maybe we'll watch a little Jonas Cup on stream with everybody. That would be fun. Okay, take care, Jungle Cook and Barav and Christopher and FV Boss, Luis, Josh, Super Kai, Kevin P, Ego Chip. All the stars are here. Mr. Brain is here. All the stars are here. All right, bye. All right, Twitch. Lucy, GB Toast, Pseudo Canard. Actually, Pseudo Canard, are you